Hey guys, what's up? Just coming back on to say hi. What's going on? Lots going on. Okay, yesterday I was watching the rally. That was a fabulous rally though in Indiana, you gotta admit. Anyway, I loved it when he called out Google, Facebook, Twitter. These Silicon Valley people are just being total censoring. Don't you feel like we're in like starting to be like the Soviet Union? It's kind of bad. I mean, control of the media, CNN, MSNBC, all this kind of crap. All these liberal lefties up in Silicon Valley writing all these algorithms. They are trying to stifle our conservative voices. They are. It's proven. There's this guy. His name's Doug Wead, W-E-A-D. He is a very well-known historian. He's a New York Times best-selling author. He advised 2 presidents. He was a special assistant to George H.W. Bush. He was interviewed twice, I believe, with Jimmy Carter. He served on a committee with Lady Bird Johnson and Coretta Scott King. They're censoring this guy. You hear all these names I'm saying? Think about that for a minute. He founded Save the Refugees in 1979. He's been interviewed by Dan Rather during the Gulf War. And he was also interviewed by Katie Couric at the inauguration of Obama. So let me say, this guy who has done all these liberal things and hung out with all these Democratic people, guess what? They're censoring him now. They really are. Google is. And guess who owns YouTube? Google. Google owns YouTube. Back in March, Prager University had a lawsuit where they had been previously, I think there was like 34 videos that they had, and nobody could find them. They weren't showing up in search results, nowhere. Even if you were in YouTube, and like if you searched on Google, you couldn't find it. They wouldn't show up. And then if you went to Google screen and you searched, they still wouldn't come up. There was like 34 of them, and you had to go to their channel in order to access these videos. So what happened was with this Doug Wead guy, he goes in and he's at work or whatever, and one of the employees there comes and says, "Oh my God, I did a Google search and your video came up on top." He's like, "What?" And so they went and looked, and sure enough, there was a video, which, you know, he didn't say which particular video it was or whatever, but they decided, okay, well, why don't we promote this? So what they did was they paid the money to run it, to promote it on YouTube. Do you know that the next day they gave him they made a disclaimer that comes up on the screen? YouTube does now. I'm gonna tell you what this disclaimer says. Hold on, let me see. He went to promote this video, right? So they paid the money for the ad and everything to get it, right? Well, what happened was Google decided that they were gonna block the ad. So they blocked the ad, and they wouldn't even let him have the ad. It was crazy. And then he called talked to some guy in India, Mumbai, somewhere, who knows, I have no idea. Wasn't here in the United States, telling him that it violated the policies. And he's like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" You know, and went through all this stuff. Okay, well then they decided that they were going to, they didn't know what was going on, so they were going to put it back up. So he's like, okay. So they fixed it, came back up. In less than 24 hours, with the ad that was promoting that video, that ad disappeared, and his Google account was, his YouTube account was suspended. They cut it off. Like, you couldn't even access it. So they called him again, right? And then he said he's on the phone and he's listening to all these elevator music and all this crap for however long. And then they come back in and they tell him it was, they had like this crawler. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like this crawler that they have within their program that goes and seeks out hate speech. So they said they took it off and suspended his account because there was hate speech in this video that he paid to run an ad to be promoted on YouTube. And so he's like, what? So, so it came down to, so the video that he was trying to promote was actually a Donald Trump quote was in there where he was talking about Mueller and the witch hunt and all that. So they said the words that came up that was hate speech was the words witch hunt. Okay, so you gotta keep in mind, this started June 2017, and then in January of 2018, this year, is when he had called them for like the second time. This is when they told him it was hate speech and all this stuff. So he's like, really? CNN, MSNBC, everybody, all the networks everywhere, that nobody has said witch hunt. You go and search and Google, and guess what happens? If you search something, it's all going to be negative about the president. Like everything that comes up is all negativity. He even did this one search. He went in and he searched for media bias. He wanted to know what was going on with all this crap, right? So he goes in and he searches media bias. Guess what comes up? A whole bunch of stuff. He says a whole bunch of stuff telling us why media bias doesn't exist. He had some pictures, but I didn't get them. Anyway, they're on his site. I can give you the link if you want later. But then he said there was some chart where CNN was ranked bias, like in the middle, and like CBS was a little bit more farther to the right. Totally bogus chart. I mean, CNN is so far off the left that like falls off the chart. Probably alarms start going off. Anyway, so he couldn't figure out what was going wrong, and this is, you know, he spent hours and hours and hours and hours on the phone. So then what he did was they figured it out, and what was happening was YouTube, Google, took it upon themselves to create an entirely new channel for him. They made him a whole new channel. He had like over 4,000 subscribers to his channel, and when he found what they were doing in this other channel, guess how many subscribers? None. And he had videos that they had selected and put into his channel, and those were the ones, when you search Doug Weed, are the ones that come up in the Google search. The other ones were still like back categorized as the old channel. I swear this is real. Unbelievable. You can look it up. Doug Weed. I'm telling you. And so, after finding this out, you know, there's really nothing he can do about it. He's called them, and he did again, and he called, and they said that it's an automatic, it's like an automatic thing that it's auto-generated is the word that they used, that to explain to him why this whole new channel was created with only these specific videos in it. Auto-generated. Google's new word. It's the word of the day. Auto-generated. Anyway, I just, you know, it's just the most ridiculous, stupid ass thing I've ever seen in my life. When are people gonna realize, okay, there's him, right? And he's just one person. He's not even, I mean, he's leaning more conservatively, but he's a historian. And he talks about all of history and what happened on both sides of conservatives and liberals and all that. There's David Harris Jr., who I really like. He does, you know, his video blogs, and, you know, does his blog and newsletters, and he's on live all the time, and he's a really great guy. They canceled his ads in Facebook. What happened with his was one day he was talking about how the real problem is not the guns. The real problem is not white police officers killing black men. The problem is that the black people are killing black people. So he was giving all of these statistics and numbers and everything. And when he did that, shortly after that, they like sent him a notification that they were suspending his advertising thing that he was doing, and they like were refunding him money, you know, because you promote stuff, it costs money to like promote things and do all that on Facebook. So he was livid. And this is after like all the people on Twitter were talking about how they're, you know, even some of the people in Washington, Republican representatives and stuff, were talking about being shadow banned on Twitter. You know, this has already been going on. And so he lost his, and it took him like days and days and days. Diamond and Silk, there's another one, another conservative voice being squashed on Facebook. They won't, they're making, I just read like yesterday, they're making this movie, it's called The Democrats. It's gonna be hilarious. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, they just recently put out a trailer for this movie that they're going to be doing. Facebook wouldn't allow them to run it as like promote it as an ad. They're not letting them do it. They said no. So, okay, let's see. There's him, David Harris Jr., Diamond and Silk, Doug Weed, all the people in Washington, so many people. I know a lot of people who are on Twitter, just basically that I follow them, they follow me, you know, we're interested in the same stuff. A lot of them have been putting red X's by their name as like in protest for all of this shadow banning that's been going on Twitter. And even Jack, CEO, owner dude of Twitter, he admitted that his employees are left-leaning, that they're liberal, and he realizes, you know, that he's going to have to do something about that. He's the only one that's really said anything about that. I mean, Zuckerberg, he just totally denies everything when the truth is right in front of your face. Google, and who owns YouTube, you know, listen, these people are wanting us to search what they say we can search, find what they say we find, listen to and watch on YouTube what they say we need to listen and watch and learn from. CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, the Washington Post, Vox, that's horrible, vile. Why would you even want to read that? I mean, is it just for shock value? It's the only reason I can think of. Anyway, it's like total bullshit. Like, when are you going to understand and realize that this is really happening? They're trying to control the media. They're trying to control what we know. Who does this sound like? This sounds like we're starting out to be, you know, is this the beginning of the Soviet Union? Are we going to turn into America, the Soviet Union version 1.0? Because I'm telling you, this is where we're headed. If you people don't pay attention and understand and realize, they are squashing people's voices. I have never, since I have been on Facebook, which has been years and years and years and years, not once had I ever had anything that I posted be questioned or come back with some kind of any notification from Facebook up until about a month ago. It really happened. And it wasn't even anything. But I got my first notification, and then it wasn't even a week and I got another one. And so I said, this is not spam. You know, they're trying to call it like some kind of spam. I'm like, this is not spam. And so, I don't know, they rolled out their new algorithm, is what Zuckerberg said. Nice algorithm. Yeah, I think I read the other day that he's working on another one too. Maybe this is like algorithm 2.0 with artificial intelligence, mind control. It's gonna be like MK Ultra. Like if you start watching Facebook, you're gonna be programmed to be a liberal. I don't know. We're gonna have to, somebody's gonna have to come up with some like Superman, Batman glasses, like decoder glasses. Like, you know, you get in the 50s, you can go and buy like one of those, your decoder ring and your spy glasses, and we're gonna need that. Anyway, there's one other thing I have to mention. The Southern Poverty Law Center is basically the front runner in this. Have you ever heard of it? Okay, this is where organizations and lawmakers, you know, all over, they look to them for any injustices that they find or whatever, you know, that has to do with like discriminating, you know, for various reasons of discrimination or anything like that. So basically, they are providing the information about these people. Now, let me tell you, these people are way left wing. It's a left organization. It's not a conservative organization, okay? And they are relying on information provided from them to determine who is being discriminated against and all that, and what to look out for. And, you know, they're making their algorithms and doing all this stuff based on information that they're getting from them, which is total bullshit. Total and utter bullshit. You know, they may be putting us all in the Google ghetto, you know, Soviet Union. We're all being put in ghettos. We will be stuck in a corner of the server or wherever we are in a little black hole, you know, with fences and crap all around, and stuck in the ghetto. No access to what we want. Can't read what we want, listen to what we want, learn what we want, be what we want. We have to be like them, because if we're not, then we're not conforming. America, Soviet Union 2.0. You think it's coming? I don't know. Just think about it.